What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Mr. Cincinnati. As always, joined by the podcast dad, who is sporting his brand new Super Bowl champions t-shirt. Floor is yours. I'm going to let you have it.
What is it? 333 days? No, 363 days, actually, that the Philadelphia Eagles are your Super Bowl champions. Can't take this away from me, bud. How many episodes is that? Because you're going to hear it every episode. There's going to be a countdown. Man, and football season doesn't start until what, September? Oh, dude.
It does not.
You know what the best thing? You know what the best thing is? I'm going to tell you what the best thing is.
Yep.
That the year of the Philadelphia Eagles, probably the best team ever at this point. I mean, statistically, probably the best team to ever be assembled to win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
They took on 3 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league this year. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patty Mahomes. And what did they do to all 3 of them?
They were successful in those games. Yes.
No. They crushed them. And I will be adding, just for everybody out there, I will be adding a tattoo to my back to commemorate this Super Bowl. Haven't decided on what. I think I have a good idea what it may be, but, just for a little extra oomph this time, maybe I'll get that scoreboard from the Cincinnati game.
Okay.
Just to rub it in your face as much as I can.
As long as that's the only thing that you want to rub in my face, since you want to get a Cincinnati tattoo as a tribute to me. Everybody, welcome back. Remember to follow us on X at Junkies Pod. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. But do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We were at 427 subscribers and then went down to 426.
Hey.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to unsubscribe. That's not how this works. Hold on now. Whoever unsubscribed, you go tell somebody else to subscribe. That's how this works.
Tell your friends, tell your mom. Yeah, no, we have fun doing our thing around here. Thank you again to By Order of the Cult for joining us last night. We are getting ready to air some incredible Coastal Empire Wrestling content. We have interviews with Randall Reno III, Chad Skywalker, and Jay Alpha Miller that we'll be releasing some previews of that over the next couple of days. But remember, Cupid's Chokehold coming up February 22nd. Dude, come on. How cheap are those tickets?
They're nice. And don't say the Randall Reno interview was pleasant.
It was fine. It could have been a lot. It could have been worse. Like Simon and Chip were infinitely shittier than Randall was.
Hakeem comes to mind. Hakeem is the top where it's like, okay. It wasn't Hakeem.
You know what?
That's fair.
You know what? I have about that much respect for Hakeem Young. I have none for.
I have noticed, the last couple of days, no Hakeem since I'm a champion. He's a champion. Just leaves one guy that's not a champion.
I don't remember seeing you on the fucking field.
No, but this says champion, so I'm a champion.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? You know who else I do respect? Respect? Tim Bosby.
Tim Bosby was on Raw last night.
Tim Bosby was on Raw last night. Good for fucking him. This is probably the nicest thing we're gonna say about. Yeah, he's mean.
He's very mean. But hey, Tim, shout out. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a perfect dovetail here. Real quick, GorillaPressApparel.bigcartel.com, promo code WJP2024 gets you 25% off site-wide. But let's get into that. Tim Bosby, part of the pull-apart brawl between Jey Uso and Gunther that kicked off Monday Night Raw. What did you think of this and ultimately the announcement? Jey Uso, Gunther, it is official for WrestleMania.
Yeah, Gunther threw his jacket at a kid. So that was nice. McAfee with, still showing that, hey, I am a little bit of an athlete. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, I think we all knew that this was the direction. I'm happy that they didn't drag it out as much as they could have because this was the direction. I think we all saw that coming as soon as Jey won the Rumble. Like, okay, he's not going to go challenge Cody Rhodes. Like it's not going to happen. This is the direction. It looks like Gunther is going to walk into Mania with the title, as they are now advertising it. I'll ask you, my friend, as a avid Jey Uso supporter, does this feel like a main event?
Not right now, no. They've got time to get it there. Last night was the first step. We have been like we have been saying that Gunther kind of lost that dog he had in for that Intercontinental title reign. This was at least a step in the right direction of trying to reclaim that, of cutting Jey off at the entrance here. I mean, camera work in WWE these days, it means everything. So the fact that when they start up the entrance, you're not getting that wide pan view of the arena. You have a feeling something is gonna go down there, and they set it up. They set it up perfectly. This is one of those things where, with Jey Uso, and we've kind of said it before, you're waiting to see what they have in him as far as this main event, like waiting to be convinced that he is a main eventer because he's being given the Rumble storyline. It's usually you do have a baby face that's kind of, he's the one getting the ass beat before, going into WrestleMania, pull apart brawl with Gunther. He needed this edge back. If we're going to do this match, I think we all kind of had a feeling that this was going to be what the program was. Step in the right direction. Is this going to close night one? I don't think so, and definitely not going to close night two. But that doesn't mean that they can't do something to get us there.
No, I mean, they have time. They have time to build this as a marquee match for sure. It just feels like Gunther's reign is not, like, I can't get that bad taste out of my mouth. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. They can salvage some stuff here, have him be way more aggressive with Jey, and we'll see what that leads to. But this run has just been like, could we get him some more? Like, I think put him in the chamber at this point. Like, have him defended against all those guys. Like, at least give me something. Give me a title defense where he beats somebody relevant. Like, I just, it doesn't feel like this could have. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it sucks because that's not Jay's fault, and he's gonna get a lot of the perception is going to be on. Oh well, Jey is not ready for this main event spot. This match doesn't have any heat to it, and I would agree that it doesn't because we've seen it a couple of times already, and it seems like this is gonna be a third time's the charm kind of story.
I'm here for it. Am I ready to yeet all over WrestleMania? Maybe. I mean, it depends on if they're going to pull the trigger. It's hard not to compare this, though, to like a Kofi Mania or a Yes Movement, and I think this is a solid third at the moment. Yeah. I mean, it's just hard not to compare it to that. I wish I didn't, because Jay's his own guy and he's going to be his own story. But
it's the feel good of
I get Jey Uso. I think he needs a marquee match coming up to get him over. Like, I don't need however many weeks of him beating, Kaiser and Pete Dunne or whatever we're gonna do here. Let's get him in some big matches on the way to WrestleMania. I think both these men should be on the chamber card in some kind of form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
Yeah. I would agree with that completely. And I think that this is, and this kind of just dovetails into the larger, Royal Rumble stories that we have for this year. Charlotte has already made her rounds to all three shows. Jey Uso did not go to NXT. There was no reason to. It seemed, I like the idea of Royal Rumble winners teasing that it is an option to go to all three shows, just because I think it does help highlight the importance of NXT. But I just don't think you can do that for more than a week, maybe 2 weeks after the Rumble, because that next night you're already on to Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. So we need the clarity of, okay, which title are these for? Is this going to be a contendership opportunity? What do you want to do with the chamber here? And instead of taking too much time to figure this out. And I don't know, realistically, especially with Charlotte, it shouldn't be this hard.
No, but they're doing
either of these matchups are money matchups.
They're doing the title defense next week, or this week, I guess, on Friday. So, is it Friday? Is that what they're doing? Tiffany and Nia?
I believe
think that was announced.
So. I'm like 40% sure on that.
I also don't know what brand Nia's on, but that's neither here nor there. I thought she was on Raw.
She says Raw, yeah.
But now she's challenging for the SmackDown's women's title. Whatever. Brand split.
Transfer window.
Yeah, it was. It kind of reminded like Charlotte going to NXT. Kind of reminded me. You remember when Taker won the Rumble and he had all 3 champions in the ring?
Oh yeah.
Cena, Lashley, and Batista, and he was looking at the ECW title, and I was like, okay, like.
No, that's not even.
Taker's not going for the ECW title at WrestleMania. No. Like,
no.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of that. Like, I didn't need it because we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen it with Charlotte. Like,
yeah,
I've seen it. Like, I know that's not going to happen.
And it was way more interesting the first time around because Rhea was on the rise, and it was just like, okay, well, Charlotte's kind of like at her peak right now. She's main event bona fide icon here. Entirely different level here. She's on it's levels above what she was doing in 2020. But I mean, realistically, why even tease a potential match with Julia? Let's be honest. Everybody heard that reaction or lack thereof at the Rumble. Do you really want to put that into a stadium again?
No, you don't.
Not
yet. Not yet. There's time. Yeah. I mean, the Tiffany story's there. I think that's the direction.
There's no need to wait on it.
Let's let Tiffany, win the match on Friday. I think this will be her first title defense. I think this will be her first match since she won the title, which is weird. But let's let her win that title defense, and then boom, let's get right into the Mania program. Let's get it started. Like you said, let's stop pussyfooting around and then let's just do this. Don't come on. Act like you've been there.
That's funny. You just anyway.
Super
how about the tag titles?
Which ones?
I was just gonna say that I really enjoyed the match between War Raiders and American Made. Quality tag team wrestling, but another loss for the Creeds.
Well, DQ.
Still.
DQ.
I know.
I can live with a DQ. Because it kind of seems like that's the direction they're going to go anyway. Like we're probably going to get more Creeds and more Raiders or War Machine or whatever they're called.
Chemistry's there.
It's there. A good match. You got to do a lot to get me excited about this tag division right now. That's just me. Like
on Raw or as a whole. Because at least with SmackDown, it seems like we're
in a direction on SmackDown.
Street Profits, that kind of took things up a notch over there.
I'm involved.
Seen that so much. Yeah, this is still kind of reestablishing those titles after the Judgment Day did nothing with them for almost 6 months.
It's tough, man, because like you just said, the Judgment Day didn't do anything with them. We're sitting right now, we're like, oh man, the SmackDown tag titles are looking good, but the Raw tag titles are looking bad. The IC title looks kind of interesting with possibly an AJ Styles getting involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Shinsuke's already had the title for 70 days?
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Oof. How many defenses? Like one?
Has he had a defense?
I want to say one.
It's weird that they can't seem to all get them going at the same time. Like I can't remember the last time every title felt important. But like I said, with these Raw tag titles, you're gonna have to get me a couple more weeks of some good stuff to get me like real excited for this program. Because it's been a lot of stop and start with the Creed brothers. They joined Chad Gable, and then nothing. And then now they're officially the tag team, and they got new singlets and new music, and then they lose. And now, okay, we're right back in the tag title division, and then they lose.
Yeah, but
it's a lot of stop start.
On the bright side, Ivy Nile does seem like could be the first challenger for Lyra Valkyria, which is good.
Let's get it going then. Come on.
Yeah. The slow burn is a little.
How many times has Chelsea already defended her title? Like, again, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, because her program with Micha has been a lot of fun, too. And we've had a little bit of everything as far as match types.
Like, you have all these titles, make them important.
Yeah.
We were both very excited when Lyra won that Intercontinental title because, okay, this will be a good launching point for her to kind of test the waters. And she hasn't done anything. done. She had a good showing in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't really done much after it. Like, come on. Like, what are we waiting on? And this is me. This is me going, I'm not usually the guy that wants it now. But with these new titles, like, establish them. And you have new tag titles. Establish them. Like,
especially when we've seen the precedent of EO becoming number one contender 1 month and then not getting that title shot for another month and a half. Even that would be better as far as, Lyra not being in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match, because her title should be showcased at WrestleMania. And to, it's one of those things where with Lyra right now, let her have those opportunities and tease something with Ivy Nile, even if it's a squash match that Ivy has, just to get her some wins to show that she's a credible challenger. Let's start to just, let's lay some foundation here. The breadcrumbs aren't necessarily enough for this title, especially with what we've seen with Chelsea and Michin, as far as that was just the program that continued once Chelsea won the title.
And that's fine. And I was cool with that.
Yeah.
And maybe the Dakota Kai injury threw a loop in there. Maybe.
Good point.
I will say, I was nervous last night. If you remember, I was like, man, I don't want EO to fall in that tag division. That was a damn good tag match last night.
Yeah,
that was a damn good tag match. And if they can start leveling up that tag division with teams like Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez and Io Sky and Dakota Kai, if they're not going to do something with them with these singles titles, just throw them in the tag team division then, and let's do something. Like, I don't need at this point, I don't think you have a big enough women's roster to have non-title feuds, if that makes sense. Like, make everything have stake. Like, you don't have the star power to do that right now. So throw them in teams and let's make something happen. Make those tag titles feel important, because they can, because Bianca Belair and Naomi are your tag champions.
And
every week for any of these tag matches.
Yeah, Nick wants to see Liv and Raquel. And that's the thing, is especially as long as Rhea is champion, this is a perfect place for them. That's where they had their most success as a unit, was in the tag team division. The chemistry is there. There is nothing more for either of those two women to do with Rhea Ripley as long as she's world champion. So I would say, hurry up and wait and get comfortable and dominate the tag division.
Yes. And they do like a, two dudes with attitude thing. Like when Shawn and Diesel, that's exactly what they remind me of. That's kind of what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. You go ahead. I'm cool with that. You know what I didn't like?
What's that?
Please, dear God, keep CM Punk away from Logan Paul. None of me wants to see that match.
I know.
None of me
I can't say that I do either.
Or if you're going to do it on a Raw. I don't want it. I do not want it at WrestleMania.
That program just worries me, and that I hope that everybody remains on their best behavior. That's one that I just could see getting very personal very quickly.
If Punk's going to walk out for being mad that he's going to get a match with Triple H at WrestleMania,
and for the fact that somebody else used real glass in a spot that had nothing to do with him.
Yes. Like, you don't think he's going to get mad because he's got to wrestle Logan Paul? Like, what? Don't stop. And look, Punk might be cool with it. That's fine, whatever. I don't want to see it. I have no interest in it. I'm kind of done with the whole Logan Paul experience, to be honest with you. He's a good wrestler. Awesome. Dude can't cut a promo.
Yeah.
He is not interesting to me at the moment. Like, okay, he's just the social. He's Miz Light. That's what he is right now. He is Miz Light. I'll say it.
He has a place as an attraction because of the views that he gets, the influence that he has. I mean, he does have a place, but it's one of those things where U.S. title run, before we saw it, it's like, okay, let's see what we have here. And then because I think that I can't remember, one or both of us wanted to believe that things were going to change. It was not me. And yeah, it didn't work. I definitely don't want him to hijack any of the world titles right now. We've been down that road before with part-timers. And Logan Paul is younger. I don't want to risk it.
No. Do not give Logan Paul a sniff of any of these world titles. No. That's bad for business. People will rebel against that so much. They know that. They're smart enough to know that.
Yeah. Like it gets a reaction. I mean,
because everybody hates him.
They're important. Yeah.
So let him be I don't know. Let him be a manager or some shit. I don't know. He's in the chamber. Look at the Elimination Chamber right now. CM Punk, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul. You tell me you wouldn't have rather seen Rey Mysterio in that? Here's the thing. Take your business hat off. Put your wrestling hat on.
Okay.
You want me to read off the names again?
No, I heard the names.
Who doesn't belong
in there? Yeah.
He's not going to win.
No, he is not.
I'd rather see a Seth Rollins in that match. AJ Styles. Just 90% of the roster. 90%. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy. He can do some flips. Cool. He can do some flips. He sticks his tongue out like an idiot every 10 seconds.
He does.
He has no facial expressions. No, he's a good gymnast. Awesome. He can touch his toes. But let's not get crazy. I'm sorry, being great on the mic is somewhat important when you're in the wrestling business. So let's not say 90% of the roster. And I'm not being argumentative. I'm giving you my counterpoint.
No, yeah.
He's super athletic. I have said it since day one. Dude, he's super athletic.
No.
Would you say Ricochet is better than 90% of the roster?
That's tough to say because it's a toned down Ricochet. Are we talking indie Ricochet?
Talk whatever Ricochet you want.
I'm just saying.
Would you say you put Ricochet on the WWE roster? Is he 90%? Is he better than 90% of the roster right now?
Not quite 90. No. There are names that
and I think Ricochet's better than Logan Paul.
Yeah. He right now, absolutely. I mean, the character
even when he wrestled
alone. Yeah. Well, yeah. We were there. I know. It's
and that look, that's just my argument. Yeah. Great athlete. Doesn't mean you're a great wrestler. Cool. He frog splashed. Hey, can do way more than I can ever do.
Yeah, I can't.
I can barely get into the ring. So shout out to Logan Paul for dedicating himself to doing it. If we're gonna say just 90%, that's a lot. And I love you too. And that's why this show is a lot of fun, because I'm not gonna get up here and curse and scream about different, and it is. And they are making hand over fist money right now. That is why the Rumble is in Saudi Arabia next year. Because they're making hand over fist money. And that's what it's always going to be about. And I can respect that. But if I put my wrestling hat on, I don't want to see him in the chamber. Because what's he going to do? Something that John Morrison did 10 years ago. He's probably going to come off the top of the cell. Okay. And John Morrison is better than Logan Paul.
John Morrison is better than Logan Paul, I would say. Yeah.
I'll get off.
Character work in Ring of Honor has been fucking awesome.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Okay.
I'm done with the Logan Paul experience. I get the value that he adds, but taking the business part out of it, as a wrestling fan, I'm just tired of him.
That's fair.
Especially with AJ Styles back. I want to see AJ Styles do something. Put AJ Styles in the damn chamber.
Yeah, this is kind of the
it's a swan song. Give me one more title run.
Yeah.
Please give me one more title run.
Yeah. Can you pull up the NXT card real quick?
I am. I'm very animated. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm animated today. I'm going to pull up the NXT card, but like AJ Styles in the Chamber. Let's do that. Again, a Rey Mysterio in the Chamber. Dude's 51 years old. Put him in the Chamber. Like, that would be fine. You still have Seth Rollins to put in the Chamber. You still have put Joe Hendry in the Chamber. That would be you want to talk about eyeballs and getting people talking. The TNA World Champion's in the Chamber because he wants to go to WrestleMania. Imagine that. Imagine the stipulation where Joe Hendry could win the Chamber and then pick who he gets to go wrestle at WrestleMania. Like, oh, I get to defend that.
Better than or as good as 9% of the roster. Charisma's better in the Chamber with a bunch of other guys. Another name in the match. I mean, I still think that there is a significant difference because, I mean, these are multiple-time world champions, one of which is doing the retirement tour. I mean, this is a license to print money for John Cena saying goodbye. Drew McIntyre has been otherworldly as a character this year. Who else do we say? Punk, McIntyre, Cena, Logan Paul.
McIntyre, Cena, Logan Paul.
Yeah. And then, same with CM Punk. I mean, a return that we never thought would happen. He's been a model employee. I'm not. I mean, we're not saying that Logan Paul isn't a good wrestler. It's I don't know. There's just something about this current stint after taking the time away is not hitting the same way that it did. I don't think. That's just kind of how we see it. LA Knight would be another fun
Jacob for two.
Yeah, Nick also says, so Mysterio in the Chamber hasn't won title in over 2 years, but WWE Hall of Famer. I mean, John Cena called his shot in the Royal Rumble because he said after 23 years of loyal service to this company, I am entitled to that. Rey Mysterio, current WWE Hall of Famer, if we wanted to be honest in the terms of wrestling canon, could also make the same argument. Multiple-time world champion, Grand Slam champion, current Hall of Famer, that if he wanted to be in the Chamber, that I think that, again, canon standpoint, that would be it. But let's hit that NXT card, buddy.
Yeah, so the Heritage Cup's on the line tonight.
Ooh, who we got?
Well, Lexis
intellectuals out there.
Will defend against Dirty Dango, who we saw return last week. We didn't really talk much about that. How did you feel about Fandango return to NXT?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, and that's the thing is it's nice to see kind of how they are incorporating former WWE talents that are now TNA back into storytelling of, we might have that music there, but they're still going to introduce themselves as who they are in TNA. I'm totally cool with that. This is something fun. It's different. This is giving Lexis King an opportunity to do something here. And that's all that we've been, that's what we've been waiting for.
Ooh, goodness. There is a triple threat tag match.
Okay.
I don't know who any of these people are. I'm having a brain fart moment.
Just pictures?
It's just a graphic.
Okay.
That's on me, folks. I'm sorry.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I think Hank and Tank are in there.
That's cool.
I have no idea. Okay. Steel cage match tonight. I did not realize this was happening. Ridge and Tony D'Angelo in a steel cage for the North American Championship. Is this the night Ridge takes the title off? I could see it.
Yeah, why not?
I could definitely see it.
Why not? Yeah, a little blow off, and we're seeing some friction between Stacks and Tony D'Angelo. That might be a story worth exploring going into Stand and Deliver. I mean, they've been running Thick as Thieves for about 3 years now. Let's see, let's see what they have as far as Stacks as a singles act, and got me sold.
Yeah, and they did announce today that Roadblock will be March 11th.
Cool.
So we do have a PLE before Stand and Deliver.
Okay. Are we going to NXT ourselves in a couple of weeks?
That is a good question. I just dropped.
Never mind. Yeah.
A lot of money on Super Bowl gear. So if we can get a good deal on a ticket, I'm there.
I'm seeing some nice deals.
Like I said, if I make an OnlyFans, there will be There will be signs. And then the final thing advertised is Bayley and Cora Jade going one-on-one.
That's cool. Yeah, busy week for Bayley. Wrestling, playing basketball, being an all-around badass.
Yep. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Anything else tonight for the good of the order?
No. Again, guys, hop in our comments. We can sit here and have civil discussions. Nick, we love you. We will always welcome you in the comments. We are allowed to disagree. That's what's the best thing about this thing that we love is everybody is entitled to their opinions. Doesn't matter who's right or wrong. It's a fun discussion. I enjoyed going back and forth, making my point, making your point, and see how we did it in a civil manner. So if you know people that like doing that and have like minds like us, go tell them. Maybe just one, maybe two, whoever. If you like wrestling and wrestling banner, come hang out with us. I'll talk wrestling all night with anybody. Just come hang out. However, if you say anything about the damn Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, and how they aren't the greatest team ever existed, I will fight you.
Damn it. Too late. All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Join us tomorrow. Our friends from CCP Podcasting will be joining us. First-time collab with our respective podcasts. Make sure to tune in live at 6:30. I get it. Eagles won the Super Bowl. Congratulations. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Follow Coastal Empire Wrestling on X at CEW Savannah. After the Empire and Coastal Countdown coming soon. That's a podcast. Adam, Mr. Cincinnati. It's been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. See you tomorrow.